Earlier this year, I was in Japan and I visited 5 different gyms throughout the city of Tokyo to see if they really are as hard as some people claim that they are.
I'm just gonna put it this way, this V2 slab is killing me.
But before we dive into grades and their relevance, I kind of just want to dive into why it matters for climbers. And there's kind of a problem here in Europe, and I think in a lot of US gyms, that if you climb, let's say you climb 8B boulders. I mean, it's a very small set of people that do that, but if you climb 8B and flash around 8A, you'll most likely flash the hardest boulders in most gyms in Europe, because they usually max out at that level. A lot of the gyms don't set anything harder than that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's quite a common commercial thing because the gyms want to make money, and the money providing customers aren't those who flash 8A. Once you reach around that 8A level, you can't really improve by climbing the boulders in the gym. The easiest way to improve is to climb on a board, system, spray, whatever it may be, which isn't necessarily a bad thing either, but it makes it quite difficult to just learn from route setters and from other climbers. And Japan in specific are extremely good at the opposite of that, setting boulders that are hard for everyone.
Oh my God. It's like I'm in a wrestling match with my own body.
They'll set climbs that occasionally are so hard that they're probably physically impossible, which is really, really cool. And we'll get to that in a few moments. But first, you might be wondering why I'm up in a tree. And that is because I thought it'd be appropriate to introduce today's sponsor, Nature Climbing, in a tree, because nature.
One of the first things you'll notice about Japanese gyms is that they don't have any form of training equipment. And this is probably the only thing that I really don't like about them, because I always use some sort of tool to warm up my fingers. Lucky for me, I brought my trusted stone hanger, and this is something I've been using every single day and every single session for my warm-up. And I also use it when I'm traveling to be able to do my daily no-hangs. However, I did want to put it to the test, and so I brought in a special guest to help me out with this.
What do you think of it, Thor?
It's lovely. The thing with it, to me, that what makes it different from every other crimp basically is that it had this stone edge inside of it. It's with kind of good friction on it too, which conditions the skin for like real rock climbing. But just like pulling on this for a few times a week makes a huge difference, because then you're actually ready when you arrive to the crag to climb. If you have like a block, this is the one you need, because this is pretty much all in one.
So both me and Thor, we love the Nature Climbing products. And I also visited their workshop in Denmark earlier this year to meet the people behind it, and I can safely say that they are some of the best people in our industry. If you want to support a top tier brand as well as the channel, then pick yourself something up at the Nature Climbing store by using my code Emil20 for 20% off your purchase.
Okay, we have a local, Shun, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. He's gonna explain the grades real quickly. What's the...
This is the hardest one. Different, this is Yon Dan. Yon means 4.
4?
4.
Yes.
Yon. And this is about V12.
V12, okay. Yes.
And this is San Dan.
V10.
Yes.
Okay.
It is the Nidan.
Nidan.
2. And maybe V9 or 8.
Okay. And then we just go up.
Yes.
Well, this is perfect. Arigatou gozaimasu. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Basically, the grading scale in Japan is the same as the V-scale or font scale, and is called the Dankyo system. It's derived from the same system that they use in martial arts, and what this means is that once you reach 1 dan, or shodan, the first step, you have reached what is the equivalent of a black belt, or in other words, V7, V8.
Very tight position, but cool. Very like boxy there. That was nice.
This gym that we're at right now is called Noborock, and the idea with every single one of these gyms was to try the hardest grade in the gym to see if that was possible or not. And if that would go, well, then I'd work my way down the grades to see how all of these compared.
Success! The grey one was really fun, but now I'm gonna try a white one instead. So we've got the white holds here, one level below.
Now at this first gym, I actually managed the hardest grade on the second attempt, and it was quickly turning out that maybe the gyms aren't that difficult compared to what you might find in Europe or the US.
Whew. Nice. We have our V2, white one in the corner. Please let me know in the comments down below. Would this be V2 in your gym? Yes or no? Let's give it a whirl. Oh, I would say we're starting off on the softer side actually. This would be V2 in my gym. Let's see what we have for tomorrow and take a little rest for now.
Well, that was about to change because the next gym we went to is called Urban Base, and this kind of gave the vibe of an underground bouldering hardcore gym, and the boulders also gave that vibe. So first off, they didn't really set anything harder than V8 or V9, at least not from the grade tags. I managed to get up this V7, which was quite nice. I couldn't climb it very elegantly, but I did make it up it. That got me pretty psyched. But once it was time to try the harder ones, my life changed. And it turns out that this place was just straight through mega hard. So these are some of the harder graded climbs in the gym, but they just felt completely impossible. The V8/9s were just brutal as all hell, and I tried for quite a while, maybe an hour or so, to make it through this weird slopey sequence, and just, yeah, ended up failing. So this was the first experience of getting smacked down in a Japanese gym. I did, however, manage to make it through one of those climbs, a V9 here, that I did not climb the correct way and just lanked my way through, but at least I got the V points for it. And after that, it was time to head over to the hardest gym chain in the world, and that's B Pump.
Oh no! So if you've seen the previous video from this gym, which is B Pump in Tokyo, you'll have seen me and Magnus work on this one. He just left for the airport, but I'm continuing in this episode a little bit just to show you guys the difficulty in this gym, which overall has been like pretty hard, I would say. Middle of the three that I've been to so far, but like definitely challenging, like the second hardest grade I fell on, and right now I'm trying actually the hardest grade. So I'm gonna give this one more go. I just fell off the top, but I think I can do it, so I wanna get the hardest grade in one of the hardest gyms. That would be pretty sick. Oh no! Got some. All right, shorts are on. Cordy was saying my butt sweat was starting to pierce through, so I had to switch. But now we're back in action and it's time to crush it. I missed the top hole, believe it or not. It's too big for my brain. Whew. I hit it, there's like kind of an edge further in, and I didn't go hard enough on it. One more try? All right, I'll give one last try. Oh, yes, success. Oh. I did a hard boulder, hype lord. Oh, yes. But yeah, that felt great. Super psyched. Super psyched. Such a hard boulder though. Very physical and a lot in my style. So definitely for being one of the hardest one, or like the hardest grade in the gym, I think I'm not gonna find something that suits me better than this one. Okay, so I found the V2. Blue holes over there. We're gonna go check it out. It looks brutal as all hell, but I think we're gonna have a good time. That is definitely harder than V2 in my gym. Wow, it's so stiff. Because even in most European gyms, I would say that that's probably V6 or so, give or take. It gets a lot harder for sure. So yeah, stiff grades gets you strong for sure, as we can tell by the Japanese team. So I found a very nice looking V4, I think it is, that we're gonna wrap up the session with before moving over to the next gym, which will probably be the other B pump, which is supposedly even harder than this one. But yeah, let's give this one a whirl. Okay, I would say the hardest grade isn't crazy hard here, but the lower grades are something else. So yeah, I guess that's the conclusion for this gym. But now it's time to call it quits, take a little nap, 2-day nap, and then continue in B pump. Okay, we've reached the main attraction of this video, B pump Ogikubo. I was here a few days ago with PewDiePie and shot a video, and then I realized that this is like the stiffest gym for sure. But today we're gonna explore more of the grades than I did then. So I'm gonna try to do, well, not one of every grade, but like one V0, one V2, and probably like a V4, and then attempt the harder ones. But they are freaking stiff. So we'll start off with a V0 and work our way up. Okay, so the first one wasn't too bad. I mean, it's V0, so it shouldn't be, I hope. But it's, I mean, for the grade, it's hard, but they have like 3 levels of V0, and that was the highest one. So this is like V0 plus. Good one. Yeah, fun one. But I think we're gonna start having to fight a little bit already on V2.
Break it down.
I mean, that's obviously very hard, but I think I'm expecting everything to be like V10 and above, so felt okay. But yeah, definitely like as stiff as V2 will ever become, for sure. You're crimping on like shallow, slopey 5mm holds essentially. I mean, they're on boxes, so they're all right, but definitely like so brutal. All right, time to step it up a notch to V4. Oh. Okay. Okay, it's a hard one.
Break it down.
Okay, that was really cool. I mean, it's like, when you do it, it's relatively okay. But for a V4, I would say that's the hardest one I've ever done. Really impressed by the setting. It's like, I'm sure if you learn how to move well there, it's really not too bad because the holds are okay. But the setting style here really invites like very precise movement, which is just mega. Cool, you're in kind of like a functional position where you can chill for a while, but it's really hard to move around, I felt like. I'll try from there once again and see if I can progress a bit. Okay, that works. Something that I never encounter in Europe is like actually using your hips when you climb very well. Here it's like on every boulder, I'm always like pushed out because I can't use them. It's like a good learning experience. Oh my God. It's like I'm in a wrestling match with my own body. Whoa. Okay, cool. Wait, all the moves are done. I don't know if linking it will be insane. I think it could happen if I'm lucky. Oh, that felt good though. I slipped off the left foot 2 times and couldn't really relax in the position. Oh no, I really wanted to do it. Next go, next go. Oh. Woo. I'm really proud of that one. I mean, no joke, that's like the glory ascent of the trip, if you ask me. Second hardest grade in the gym. I haven't looked at many of the other ones, so maybe this is like the softest one. Wouldn't be surprised. But I'm not gonna have enough energy to try many more, but we should try and find some more grades so you guys can see the extent of how brutal this gym actually is. Let's hop on back down many grades to a V2 slab and see just how hard a V2 slab B pump is. Okay, we're humbled again. Oh. I'm just gonna put it this way. This V2 slab is killing me. So I'm gonna move on and just be humbled. We'll try this one instead. Oh. Let's go. It's the theme really doesn't change. I don't know if you can tell, but I have to move like really slowly through the positions. Otherwise I'm just gonna explode right off. And it's a combination of like pretty bad friction with just very well set positions. So that was cool.
So in Ogikubo, I got completely smacked. I mean, I fell on a V2 and could not complete the V2. I mean, maybe if I projected it, I would do it, which is honestly so cool. It isn't very generous towards the customers, and some egos are going to be bruised, but in the grand scheme of things, any climber that goes to a gym that has such stiff grading is gonna progress as a climber immensely if they climb there for long enough. And for me personally, that's what I care about in climbing. I want to progress, I want to become better, and I don't care if a V2 is V10 or not. Obviously, you must have a high concentration of easy climbs, but that is what B-Pump also did. They had a ton of climbs that were accessible for anyone. They just put numbers on them that were maybe very, very low compared to what you'd expect if you go outdoors. I will admit, the V2s in B-Pump are the V2s in your gym. They are the stiffest ones I have ever seen. But again, I think this is a bonus. I think this is a really, really good thing for the climbing culture in that gym because it helps everyone to push themselves to the max. If you put the ceiling so high up that nobody can reach it, well, then everybody's gonna try and everybody's gonna try to improve. But if the ceiling is capped, well, then that's the highest level you can reach by climbing in the gym. Having access to this sort of like endless pool of incredible, hard, impossible boulders was so liberating and so much fun, and I would love to see it more. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to sandbag the entire gym. You just have to realize that not everything has to be given for free. You don't have to give like easier grades to people. You just need a high concentration of difficult climbs for everyone, and then everyone will improve. That was kind of a rant, but yeah, B-Pump was one of the most liberating climbing experiences I've had in a gym, and I couldn't be more grateful towards setting there. Don't get me wrong, all the other gyms were fantastic as well, but for me personally, having access to so much difficult climbing was glorious. Anyways, we still have one more gym to visit, and that is the Rocky Gym in Shinjuku.
This gym became kind of a big contrast to the one in Ogikubo, as I started off the session with a knee-down boulder, which is the hardest grade in Ogikubo, and let's just say that this one was quite a lot easier than those. But I moved over to a sandan, which is around 8A, and these were actually not too bad. The holds were a lot better, a lot more, I don't want to say juggy, but you know, like deeper than the ones in Ogikubo, so you didn't have to position yourself quite as thoroughly. You could climb more like bigger moves dynamically and sort of jump between the holds. And so I actually did a couple of these quite fast, which kind of proves that this gym is a fair bit easier than the one in Ogikubo.
Thank you. Oh, people are so awesome here. Okay, nice. This is what I'm looking for, the complete shutdown. But yeah, just a little bit, just a few more moves for fun.
So there wasn't really a shortage of hard boulders. Definitely not as many as in Ogikubo, but I could still get a good fight in when climbing at this gym.
Oh, okay, that's it for that one for today.
I mean, the point of this video is to decide if the gyms are soft or not. So I made this little soft scale that ranges from softer than a pillow to the V2 in your gym to kind of categorize the different gyms I went to. And as you can see, most of them are not crazy hard, but slightly harder than the average outdoor climb. So to answer the question, the gyms in Japan are definitely quite stiff. But the interesting thing isn't really whether or not they're hard or not. It's the fact that on a lot of the climbs that are at a lower level, if you call it V2 or V7, doesn't really matter, they put up these dynamic moves that I find very, very interesting at such a lower level. Usually these are reserved for, you know, people training for World Cups or higher level competitions. But instead, the average Japanese climber can get a feel for this already starting at V0, already starting at the very beginning of their climbing journey, which I think make a lot of climbers from Japan so much better at these dynamic moves than if you climb in other gyms. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little dive into the Japanese climbing gyms and you enjoyed me getting smacked. And if you did, well, you can leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace, homies.